Hello YouTube, it's Lion here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we are doing our monthly check-in video for the month of January. I didn't have a TBR video, so I don't really have too much to talk about in terms of reading, since I don't really have to, get back to talking about it. But I do want to talk about a little bit about what I've been reading, even though it hasn't been much, because I'm not really in a reading slump, but I've definitely been in a not reading mood. I've been wanting to watch television and enjoy time with my family and stuff like that. So I haven't really read as much as I usually do, but I want to talk about it. And I want to talk about the stuff that I've been watching, because I've been watching quite a bit of television, because that's one of the activities that me and my family do in order to kind of bond and have fun with each other. So we'll talk about it. But yeah, so let's get into it. The first thing I read this month actually was not City Hunter, was Comey 16. Really enjoyed it, really liked it. I thought it was really, really wonderful. I love Comey Can't Communicate. I really like this volume, and I can't wait to read more of it. I have to go back and buy the rest of Comey Can't Communicate now, because I own this volume 16. So either I sell it or I buy the rest of the collection, and I don't really want to sell it right now, so I'm going to keep it for now and see how, I manage to buy the rest of the series. So, yeah, Comey Can't Communicate is great as always. I like this volume because it has some interaction between Comey's dad and his son, and I think that's fun. It's pretty interesting to see them interacting, because they really don't interact. They just kind of like sit in the same place, and I think that's kind of funny. But yeah, Comey Can't Communicate was the first thing I read, and then I read City Hunter Volume 1. I actually really liked it. I'm sad that I didn't get to buy or get to read it before I went to Mexico or took it with me. I should have done that. But now I want to buy more City Hunter, because I really like where the volume ended up. So I'm going to definitely buy some more City Hunter when I, next time I get an opportunity to go to Mexico or do some shopping in Mexico or anything like that. I'm definitely going to get more City Hunter, but I think it's really interesting. I'm going to make a first impressions video for it sometime this month, but it is really cool. It's basically this guy who happens to be this underground kind of, not spy, but more like a underground PI, underground private investigator, private detective or something. And he handles situations where, someone has to die because they're just that bad to society. And he handles it with a lot of like seriousness, but he happens to actually be a very, funky, dumb character otherwise. And I think that's an interesting balance there. And I like it. It kind of reminds me of like a street level version of, what's it called? Of Mission Impossible or Jason Bourne, without, like the basically supernatural element that they have, which is that they never die, even though they have a lot of things happen to them, right? So pretty interesting there. I liked it a lot. I think it was very good. I actually really like the drama aspect of it. The fact that, hey, we have to go battle these gangs that are kind of threatening us as individuals, but also the city that we like. So I think that's pretty interesting. I liked it quite a bit. So I'll talk about it later in a proper video. And then the other two things that I read this month so far is Go-Go Power Rangers Volume 1, which is actually really, really enjoyable, really, really good. It's definitely different from the original TV show, and I think that's a good thing, because it allows for new, interesting moments to occur that don't feel like boring because you already know them. So I think that's really cool. I like the original TV show, but I think that this allows for a little bit more leeway in terms of developing the characters, because although, yes, technically the Power Rangers TV show is actually a long-form storytelling medium, it doesn't really care too much about the characters, because at the end of the day, the point is cool action scenes about people fighting monsters, right? So I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I like the exploration of the characters and the development that they have, and that a lot of the actual teenage drama that would come with people of this age. So I think that's really fun. I liked it quite a bit. I can't wait to pick up more of it. So I'm going to do that sometime soon. And the other thing I read was Batman. This is the Scott Snyder run. Yes. Yeah, Scott Snyder run and Greg Capullo, Volume 2. Really, really good stuff. I think it's super cool. Just the Court of Owls lore is very, very interesting. Very, very powerful. I like it a lot. And I think it's very fun. And I really like this, like, family twist at the end that happened with Batman and the bad guy that he was fighting this volume. So I thought that was really, really cool. I can't wait to read more of the Scott Snyder run of Batman. It's a very, very nice, very, very good storyline. So, yeah. Other than that, that's all I've read. I haven't really done anything. I did try to read a little bit of Perry Rhodan here and there. I have managed to move along the series, but not very much. Other than that, I haven't really read anything, so that's all there is to it in terms of reading. In terms of watching television, though, I've been watching quite a bit of it. I watched all of The Wheel of Time, which I have a lot of thoughts on, but I haven't really gotten to express very much, and I'm going to do it in a video at some point, but I haven't really had time to sit down and record all of the individual chapter reactions for The Wheel of Time, which kind of sucks, but hopefully I'll manage to do it so I can start publishing them sometime next week, because basically I've been dealing with my family and having time with them, and so I don't have time to sit down and record and do all of this stuff. And I definitely need to rewatch the episodes if I want to talk about them, so I can take notes and stuff. But other than that, I've been watching Wheel of Time. We liked it. My parents really enjoyed it. My sister did as well, which is kind of surprising because I didn't really think this would be something that interested them. But they said that the storyline was pretty good, so that's pretty interesting. I think it has accomplished its goal, which is take source material and adapt it for a broad audience. So it's actually succeeded in what it's supposed to be doing, right? However, as an adaptation of a series that I like, I think that it could have done a better job, but it was mostly okay for the first 6 episodes of 8. The last 2 episodes, I feel like, could have been better, and I think that they tried to simplify things from the original, pretty ununderstandable, or incomprehensible ending of The Eye of the World, but they did it in a way that is just as confusing without it being mystical and powerful like the Eye of the World was. And it really killed the stakes because, you know, there's this whole idea that the Aes Sedai are only powerful because of the one power, but you have to be a certain amount of power level powerful in order to affect the one power and affect the world at large, right? But then the ending happens and we see some like random ass person that has no power whatsoever in terms of the one power, or very little in terms of the one power, and happens to affect the world at large. So it kind of killed its own stakes there. I didn't like it, but overall I think that it was an okay adaptation. In terms of an adaptation, I would give it like a 6 out of 10. But in terms of a show on its own, I would definitely give it about an 8 out of 10, because 3 of my family members that had never seen it before liked it. The only one that didn't love it was me, who read the source material. So yeah, it was a pretty good adaptation in terms of like getting it to people that would have not read the source material anyway. So there you go. That's my general thoughts on that, but I'll definitely make a video that is more in-depth about it. Other than that, we watched Hawkeye, which was really, really fun. Actually, I think it's probably the best MCU show so far. It's actually really enjoyable, really good. I like this more serious take on the ground level superhero that is Hawkeye, because he really isn't like the top tier god level character that every other character in the series is. And of course, it's good because we finally get to see some development of him. We get to see him deal with the repercussions of becoming Ronin during the 5-year blip period. And we get to see a new character, and we get to see this development of Hawkeye as someone that is inspiring because he's a normal person, which is something that, you know, Laura, his wife, had already told him during the Avengers movie when they're hanging out in the, or what was it? Age of Ultron was when they're hanging out at his house. So there you go. I think it's really good. It kind of comes full circle, and it becomes powerful and interesting. And I like Kate Bishop as a character. I think, what's her name? Haley Steinfeld, I think is her name. Did a really good job with it. She's a really good actor. I actually really liked her in Bumblebee. And I think she did a great job as Kate Bishop in the series. I think there was a good bit of give and take in terms of comedy with Hawkeye and her. So I liked it overall. I'm really excited for more of it, but I don't know when that will be. But overall, good stuff. Can't wait to see Kate Bishop in the larger MCU universe. So yeah. We also went to watch Spider-Man because I had watched it in Mexico with my cousins. But my sister had gotten sick. She had gotten some sort of stomach bug that day. And so my sister and my parents weren't able to go watch it, even though everyone else in my family did. So we went to watch it with them and here in the United States. And it was great. I liked it. I think it was better the second time. And I got to notice a little bit more details that I hadn't seen the first time. And I thought it was really fun. I really like the movie. I think it's probably the best Spider-Man movie that I've ever seen, which is kind of crazy because I've seen all of them, like all of the 2000s era ones, all 3 of the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I really love the 2 Amazing Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield. Although I think that was because that was when I was a teenager, and so those are the ones that I associate the most with myself. And I like all three of Tom Holland's movies, but I think this last one is probably the most interesting just because it kind of brings everything together, right? So I think there's an element of nostalgia there as well as an element of like, hey, this is so cool. And also just having 3 Spider-Men together is super awesome, right? So pretty cool. I really wish they would have mixed in some of the Into the Spider-Verse characters, but it wasn't going to happen, so there you go. I really feel that they misused Venom a lot. Venom would have been a really great character to see alongside Spider-Man, but didn't happen. So maybe better luck next time, I guess, right? So yeah. Other than that, what have I been watching? Oh, we've been watching Book of Boba Fett as well. Really good stuff. I actually really like it a lot. It's kind of interesting. It's not exactly what you would think a book, like a series about Boba Fett would be, especially not if you're expecting it to be about a badass, you know, cynical bounty hunter being a badass, cynical bounty hunter, but rather it's more of a old man, like an old man Boba Fett who happens to want to be better than he was before. And we get to see a lot of flashbacks to him getting out of the Sarlacc pit and stuff like that. And it's very fun. It's very interesting. I really like the kind of more grounded take on Star Wars here because you get all of these aliens and stuff, but at the core of it is basically a mafia movie. But also kind of like a space western movie for the first 2 episodes. So it's very fun. I like it a lot. I think it's really cool. It's, how do I say? I don't know. It's very nice. However, there's a few problems here and there. Like, for example, some of the chase scenes that they've had don't feel very good. They don't feel fast. And that's basically the only problem, right? Chase scenes are really good because there's a very straightforward objective, get away from the bad guy or catch the bad guy. And there's a lot of motion and action and the soundtrack swells and it does a really cool stuff there. And that hasn't worked for either of the 2 chase scenes in Boba Fett because they visually look so slow. And it's weird. I don't understand why that is. I don't want to get into any spoilers, but there's one that's on foot that basically feels like they're barely running. And then there's another one where it's supposed to be on vehicles that are supposed to be going super fast, right? But they don't. And they don't feel like they're going fast. They feel like they're basically just pedaling a bicycle when it's like a speeder bike or something like that. And it just doesn't feel as awesome and quick and fast and like crazy as it should. And that's just kind of disappointing, especially because we have seen, you know, chase scenes that are like that are really, really good. Like in Han Solo, the movie, the Solo Star Wars story, there was a chase scene in the early moments of that movie that felt very fast and very quick that could have been done the same way in Boba Fett, that it just wasn't. And so it's kind of disappointing, but the music was good. And overall, the story is pretty interesting. And I really like that, like the, what's called the Wookiee bounty hunter. I think he's really interesting. So yeah, overall, pretty happy with Boba Fett. There's a few kind of misses here and there, but it is definitely shaping up to be quite good. My dad says it's better than The Mandalorian. I disagree with him, but my dad kind of has a different take on stuff because he thinks The Mandalorian is very kind of like basic. And I guess he kind of is, but it's not just about The Mandalorian. It's about, you know, that kind of lone wolf and cub thing that he has going on. So I don't know. But yeah, other than that, I think that's basically all I've been watching. I've been watching more Clone Wars right now. I was actually watching more Clone Wars as I was packing earlier. And other than that, I've just been on YouTube and stuff. So I haven't really done much. I've been really enjoying my vacation. Just enjoying it and kind of doing stuff on my own. So yeah, other than that, I think that's basically all there is to it. What have you guys been reading so far this month? And what have you guys been watching? Let me know that in the comments. And of course, if you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. See you guys later.